Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Knights of the Turntable. This is a special edition where we'll be talking about Ludacris' new EP, Burning Bridges, that dropped today for free for all of you that own Google Play. But I've got a couple new faces to the hip-hop podcast, and I want to introduce them first. We got Mike A.
How you people doing, man? How's everyone out there doing?
Word. We got B. Will.
Yes.
And of course, the faces you already know. We got Joe Hovel.
What's up? I don't know if you should say faces, though, because they only hear our voices.
Well, they need to start watching video, so you can be less confusing. How about that? And we got Richard Bailey.
Yo, what's up?
Before we jump into the first impression, let's see what everybody's been listening to, other than the EP, of course. We'll start with you, Joe Hovel, even though you kind of like just did a K.R.I.T podcast. But has your rotation changed any at all?
Actually, it has because Kevin Gates dropped Luca Brasi 2 on Sunday, so I've been playing that almost nonstop. And it's really good, so you should check it out. And my dude Dot just dropped his new song today. It's actually on the Koalition.com, and you can check it out.
Yeah, that Ace joint. Or can I? All right, so you
can call it Ace, but you can't type it Ace.
Okay, because I deleted tweets like 3 times trying to reword that and going into the post. It was confusing, man. So Richard Bailey, what have you been listening to?
Well, aside from listening to what we will be discussing, I must confess, you'll be rather disappointed. But what I've been listening to, you can't really call hip-hop. I've been listening to Black Messiah, D'Angelo's long-awaited album.
Okay.
Yeah, album is off the chain.
Okay, so off the chain. 14 years later, and you think he delivered?
I think it's good. I'm not gonna say it's the second coming, so maybe it's not indicative of the title that they gave it, but I think it's solid still. It's good. It's not amazing, earth shattering, but it's good. It's
I agree. It's definitely entertaining. I enjoyed it. B. Will, what have you been listening to?
Well, I'm usually very, very far behind everybody on everything because as I make stuff, if I'm producing, writing, I really get influenced by what I'm listening to if I like it. If I don't like it, I never listen to it again, so that's never a problem. So, but if I do like it, I get influenced. So I rarely listen to anything. It's usually Charles like, hey, have you checked this out? And I'm like, no, did it just come out? And he'd be like, no, it came out a month ago. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I haven't been listening to anything because it really does influence you. So I just picked up Catalactica. I like it. I don't love it. When we got some time, we can go into that another time. I know y'all already covered that, but I also checked out the Cole. I really liked it, so I stopped listening to it about 6 songs in because I don't want to make some stuff that sounds like Cole could rap on it. Like, I don't want tracks to start sounding like that. But I really liked it. I'm going to listen to it at some point, but it's not going to be when I'm in this creative flow of off work and creating. It's going to be I'm just listening to stuff, and I'll get back into that cold heavy.
Word, because it really picks up around track 6 too. Like the back end of that album is dope. I enjoy the whole thing. But.
I haven't listened to that Cole more than once or twice, and I still haven't listened to that D'Angelo because I don't want people's hype to ruin it for me.
Man, it's with D'Angelo. It's already been on both sides of the scale. Like people have been like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," and then people today. Do you follow Rusty?
Yes, Rusty.
Man.
Rusty went off for 2 hours about why it was only a subpar album.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like it felt like he'd been planning this, man. He destroyed that album, and it's a good album, but my goodness, he went way off. But Michael A., what you been listening to, homie?
Let me think. I've been bumping the latest Black Milk. Anything Black Milk, I'm always listening to. I'm still listening to the Sunday morning, Monday evening, or whatever the order was. The Paradise joint. I'm a big Black Milk fan, so I was streaming the latest project on that. You just had me listen to the Ludacris project. So that I actually listened to it about twice because there's a couple songs I actually really did like on there, surprisingly enough. outside of that, honestly, just a bunch of old school stuff. I don't really like. There's no new projects I'm really hyped about. Oh, that's not true. That Quest to Sylvian album, the Night
so
album.
you did listen to it.
Oh my God, you damn right I listened to that. It was amazing. So that has been getting constant spin. Big ups to Quest, man. That shouldn't have been a mixtape. That should have been an LP. I'm getting tired of artists doing this because I said the same thing with XV when he dropped Popular Culture. I'm like, you just messed up. This should have been LP.
But you know what? To defend Quest's decision over XV's, XV is not when he dropped that, he wasn't a new face, really. But Quest is really early, so this is the introduction to a lot of people, especially with him being on that label. This is the first time they're hearing him.
All I know is when I saw that, I was like, man, did you charge $10? You'd have had $10. So I mean, he should have charged $10. But I mean, that's about it. Most outside of that, yeah, that's it for hip hop. It's been, my friend sent me some baby metal, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I listened to it, and I was like, why do I like this? I felt very weird.
Oh, no, I've heard of that. That's in Japan, right?
Yeah, oh my God, it doesn't make any sense, but it's awesome. I can't explain it. So I just been listening to that all week. But yeah, that album, oh my God, Black Mill joint. I still have not listened to, and I know people are going to think I'm weird, and I want to. It's just I keep forgetting. I still have not listened to the Primo.
The Prime?
Yeah,
I still haven't listened to that.
Not listened to that yet. I don't know why. I imagine it can't be anything but great. Like, it's just not possible for that to not be a good album. I just haven't listened to it yet, so I need to get on that.
I can tell you why, because all Premiere beats sound the same.
I was waiting for it. Here we go.
No, let me calm down. I'm not going to rant. I just wanted him to repeat what he said, because I thought I heard something sacrilegious, and, it wouldn't be fair of me to make such an assumption of someone. So I was allowing him.
I said that all DJ Premier beats all sound the same, kind of like Ninth Wonder.
Oh, okay, my heart. I can't do this right now. No, let's just go into the show. This man just said Ninth Wonder and Premier beats all sound the same. What world am I living in right now?
I won't comment on that. But Prime is good. It is worth the listen for sure. You got to get into that.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to ask a question. Now, I want each one of you to give one album or mixtape that will certainly be in the conversation for album or mixtape of the year or whatever. But you can only pick one, not just whatever one you know is automatically going to be in the conversation. And we'll start with Joe.
Did you say with me? You were cutting out.
Yeah, with Joe.
Mick Jenkins, The Waters.
Or, you know what? Have you even listened to that, Mike? I think we mentioned it to you before.
I don't think I've listened to that. I think I'm sleeping on that. I have to go do that and listen as well then.
Oh, you're waking up, bro. You got to listen to that today. B. Will, one project you think will be in the end of the year conversation.
I feel like I'm so ill-prepared to make a call on that, but based on what I've heard, I still have to say Cole. It seems to be the most relevant to the culture at the moment, and for that, I think it's going to make the biggest impact of the year, just based on what I've heard.
Okay, word. Rich, you can't put D'Angelo in there, so pick one.
Well, let me just say yes. I definitely have to agree with what you said about Cole, because I have been listening to that album. I didn't think to mention that because yes, I've just been listening to the D'Angelo stuff as of late. But yes, the latest album. Now, I can't really tell you which track yet because I like so many of them. So, but you better get some type of recognition, I would say.
Word to that. Word for sure. I'm sure he'll win some stuff out. Like, people have beef with like his singing and everything, but the overall quality of the album is really, really good, and I think it deserves to be in there. I think Big K.R.I.T Galactica deserves to be in there too. I actually really enjoyed that project.
Cadillac. Yeah,
that Big K.R.I.T joint. Oh my God.
Word. So let's jump into the basically the guest of honor, the focus of this here first impression.
I can't give my album of the year.
Oh, my bad. I skipped this.
I mean, that's all right though. I mean, I'm new to the show, so I guess my opinion don't matter. So
You spoke
that's
so
all right.
passionately about Searching Silver, and I just assumed. My bad.
I mean, I like that. I like the Big Crit. You know, there's a lot of them that Sci-Hi to Prince. There's a lot of joints that came out this year that blew me away. I think they were Isaiah Rashad, you know. But if I had to pick one project,
Isaiah Rashad came out this year.
Yep. If I had to pick one, and people are probably gonna give me flack for this because I'm probably not the type of person you think is a fan of Freddie Gibbs.
Dog, if you say Pink Print, I'm gonna just kick you off the.
Hell no! Are you insane? What? Why would you even mention that? Like, no. I was gonna say the Pinata album, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib. To me, like, I didn't think that was gonna work. Cause I'm like, I don't see how that's gonna work. Freddie Gibbs, the stuff he raps about and stuff. And yeah, I'm still listening to that CD regularly. Like, it's an amazing album. The production on it is top notch, and it actually fits his vocal pattern and his rhyme scheme. Like, it's just very well put out. And I honestly, it made me go back and look at Freddie Gibbs in a different light because he can actually rap. It's just that I didn't agree with a lot of stuff he was rapping about. So I'd say Pinata, like that album, just like a lot of the other albums that I liked this year, I expected to be good. Pinata just blew me away. I didn't see it coming. So like I like the J. Cole joint, but I mean I'm a J. Cole fan already, so I'm gonna go with Pinata.
I actually forgot about that project. I've listened to it, and I was in the same boat. I never listened to Freddie Gibbs before that. Like, it's just, I mean, features.
Did you say Freddie Gibbs?
I think you did.
Gibbs.
It's Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs.
Oh my god.
My bad. But I've listened to just scattered tracks before then, and then I listened to that one just on the whim, and it was good. I haven't listened to it a whole lot. I probably need to go back because I've been trying to at least listen to a few songs off everything to kind of refresh my memory. But I do need to go back to that one. But now, since we got Mike out of the way, we can go ahead and jump into the Ludacris topics. Just a quick question before we get into the first impression. What are your favorite Ludacris moments? Like his favorite tracks or favorite albums? Rich, we'll start with you.
Oh man, you put me on the spot first. Wow.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, I like a lot of his older stuff. Southern Hospitality, you know, that's the classic. So I have to put that out there. A lot of people may laugh, but you know, and I have no shame in admitting this, but I do like that song, "How Low Can You Go?" I don't know what it is about that song. What? Hey, listen, I don't know.
Rich like to set it off there.
Hey, I don't know what it is. It's catchy. It's catchy. Yeah. I like it. It's funny stuff, but you know, I got a lot more respect for the stuff that we're gonna be talking about a little bit later on, because this is a little bit more realistic approach to you talking about some real stuff now. So.
Word, I feel you. How about you, Mike?
Honestly, I'm not a big Ludacris fan. The only songs I've ever heard him on that I liked, whenever his projects, he's always featured on them. Like, he was featured on some project with, like, I want to say it was like a To Live Quietly joint, like back when The Beautiful Struggle got leaked. He was on a verse on it. He was on a verse on one of the songs that didn't make the album because it got leaked. It was him, Memphis Bleak, and some other person that was like, "You guys can actually rap. Why don't you do this more often?" That was like the best I've ever heard him rap. But in terms of his projects, no, he doesn't make the type of music I listen to.
Word. Joel?
I don't know. That's tough because I was a huge Ludacris fan when I was a kid. Like, I own From Word of Mouth to Release Therapy.
Okay.
And I don't know. It just seemed like he was like kind of raising the bar on each album for himself, I guess. Probably my favorite album would be Chicken and Beer.
Yep.
And maybe my favorite song is I don't know, probably like Stick 'Em Up with UGK.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was a good one. And yeah, Chicken and Beer is definitely my favorite one as well. But I'll get into that last. How about you, B. Will?
Well, being that I'm old as dirt, you know, I was around when Luda first dropped and Southern Hospitality came out, and when he opened the song, the whole CD with "I Got Your Mama in the Headlock," listen, man, a lot changed for the better in that day. That whole album, I'm with. I think it was Rich that said that was a class. That was a classic album.
Back for the First Time was amazing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Back for the First Time. Yes, that was outstanding. So, other than the whole album, I felt like Ludacris, he kind of wore on me as time went on. He's probably the best beat writer ever to me. Best beat writer ever. However, there's only so many times that same vocal inflection. You're only going to get away with that so many times before I'm not as enthused as your voice tells me I should be. I get it, man.
That makes perfect sense.
How to do this? But you said that like 100 times. Look, I got it. When the production was outstanding, Ludacris is unstoppable. When the production isn't outstanding, and I felt like it kind of tailed off, like his singles would be outstanding, but the overall production of the whole CD, if it's not extremely impressive, then his style just kind of grates on me a little bit. So I feel like he's won out over time. But if it's just a feature, I'll listen to it, any Ludacris feature, because he's going to be fresh and he's going to be inventive on that beat, because somebody's already done the standard for it, and he just has to add to it. He does great at that. So still, his first word is the best word.
Word. I can co-sign that for sure. Like I said, Chicken and Beer was my favorite. The opening to that, like the Southern Fire intro and the Blow It Out, is actually one of my favorite moments from him. Like, it just, both of those just went so hard to me, and it was absolute fire. And then my favorite track is We Got, which is him, Chingy, I-20, and Tity Boi.
Yes!
2 Chainz.
You lost me with that entire list of artists, honestly. You lost me with all of them.
Okay, you know what? Have you even listened to that song?
No, I'm saying you lost me. Like, I'm like, Chingy. I'm like, nope.
And you know what's crazy? That is Chingy's best verse of his entire career.
Best
That's
verse.
not saying a lot. That is not saying a lot.
That's not saying a lot, but I mean, congrats, I suppose.
I kid you not. He set that track off.
But that Tity Boi verse, though.
Come on, man.
Man! That was back before we even knew who he was going to be.
Come on, man.
No, I'm not trolling. I'm dead serious. We Got is so fire. Everybody.
And didn't DJ Paul and Juicy J produce that?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
They sure did. And all right, Mike, I'm gonna link you, man. I'm gonna refresh your memory. You're gonna have to catch that one. I don't know how that one slipped past you, but that song was incredible. Like,
no, I think 2 Chainz said something about shooting your, what did he say? Something about putting the bullet holes through your white tee, and like something about shooting dice.
Yep. That was definitely him. I remember that. And like, if I played the track, I could spit the
I really missed out there.
Hater, man. You gonna be bumping that song though. It's going to happen.
Holy shit! I remember leaving high school playing that song in my car.
Yeah, man. That track, like, that one got so many spins for me for like forever. Now that I'm talking about it, it's gonna get back into the rotation. It's gonna probably that whole album is gonna get back in there. But let's go ahead and jump into the reason we are here. If you are not aware, Burning Bridges, an EP from Ludacris, dropped today. It was in collaboration with Google Play. Honestly, like, I saw this a couple weeks ago pop up as a pre-order on Google Play. And it was free, so I hit the button, right? But I wrote it off just like I wrote off that Busta Rhymes Year of the Dragon joint, because I think it was the same situation where it was a Google Play exclusive or whatever. And I think I played that like once, and I was completely done. So, like, no joke, I was just cleaning around the apartment, and I was like, F it, I'll go ahead and play it, because it told me this morning that it auto-loaded onto my phone. And I was like, let me go ahead and check this out. While I'm sitting there cleaning up.
They pulled the U2 on Google Play with Luda.
Yep. They threw it on there, dog. I was like, I just looked, I had a notification. I was like, Ludacris Burning Bridges EP is now loaded. And I was like, all right, cool. Because it's just like when, like the iTunes people, the iPhone people got that, was it you? The
U2 album, yeah.
Yeah, they just popped up one morning and they had that on there. And that's how it was with the Luda album for me. But I started listening to it, and I was like, and it just played like in just kind of back of my mind. Really wasn't paying attention, but I noticed that I was enjoying everything so far, and then I had to run it back and start paying attention. And I have to say that this Burning Bridges joint is actually really good. I mean, granted, he's had a long time to put this together, especially since, back when he was dropping the absolute worst stuff I'd ever heard. What was that David Guetta?
Oh God, that was so
Usher?
awful.
That was just embarrassing, and I thought it was done. I thought his career was over with. After that, we weren't going to hear anything, and then he started dropping his Luda verses a couple months ago, and then just if you paid attention on the Koalition, we would drop them on Koalition Radio every Monday, and it was like, hey, is this a real thing? Is Ludacris really back? And now that I've got this EP, I have to say that he actually is. But how did you feel about it, Joe?
The intro was really good. Like, I was shocked, like that's when I sent out that tweet saying I like Ludacris songs and it's almost 2015. Like, the intro was really good, but then it was kind of, and the second track was kind of good, and then they just kind of all started going down afterwards until it got to the one featuring Miguel.
Okay.
The CeeLo one makes me laugh because of what CeeLo said about Bill Cosby recently, and the song's titled Problems, and I'm just like, dude, that's a bad time.
Poor timing.
I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but, like, I think Luda has something to build off of, and he sounds hungry again.
Yeah, that is the key right there. He definitely sounds hungry again. Oh no, maybe those acting checks dried up.
Well, here's my thing. And one of the songs, I can't remember what one it was, but he said that he, like, owned restaurants in the Atlanta airport and his daughter's a CEO at 10. And I'm thinking last year he was just saying that he couldn't pay child support because he only made $50,000. So, I mean, rappers are liars. Your favorite rapper's going to lie to you, but, like, come on, dude. Like, don't be that extreme with it.
Richard Bailey, what'd you think of it?
I just have one question. Who is he mad at in the Burning Bridges song?
Mike said something about that too.
I asked the same question of Charles when I learned. I'm like, yo, who's he throwing shade at? Like, what is this? I'm seeing EX Shoryuken's on Wake Up. Like, what's going on here? And there's just, no name was dropped, so I'm just, I guess he was just beating up a practice dummy. I don't know.
I don't know either, because I went back after you asked me that. When I jumped into this recording, like I listened back and I was like, dang, yeah, he really was taking some shots. But I don't know who it is. Maybe maybe he just wanted to get that conversation going, and then his next drop we might find out exactly what he's talking about. And there may be some stuff behind the scenes hinting at why he's been gone or why he's coming back. But what did you think of the full project, or did you have any standout tracks other than that, Rich?
Yeah, I thought I enjoyed pretty much everything I heard. It's a lot more of a serious tone. As I said earlier, I did like some of the playful stuff he had, but to hear a much more serious tone, yeah, as you guys said, he's definitely hungry. He definitely wants to, I guess, reestablish himself. Because I know he was doing some silly stuff there for a while, but clearly it's a lot more of a direct. I mean, like I said, I love the Burning Bridges track because the delivery, the flow, everything that was said in that, the lines, kept referring back to his name, Christopher Bridges. I mean, that's a bad line. That's bad. I mean, yeah, that line is fire. So I like that track. In My Life is good. The Problems track is good. Money. I especially like because I know what it's like. More money, more problems, all types of stuff. So I relate to that one. But overall, I think the project is great. I'll be very interested to see what it is that he got next after this, because this is a little free album here. So I'm trying to see if he has a bigger project in the works right now.
If he's smart, he better. I mean, it seems like he put a lot of work into this one, so I mean, it would suck if he would do this and it actually be a solid project and then not follow it up. Like that doesn't make sense. Michael A., how'd you feel about it?
Let's see. Honestly, when you told me a Ludacris EP, I was like, no.
Hey, remember,
we all thought the same thing.
I was like, no, I really don't want to do this. Like, it's Tuesday. I have, I got dishes to do. Like, I'm not listening to Ludacris right now. Like, I'm not doing that. And I asked you if it's good, and you were like, yeah, give it a listen. Listening to it, I think he came out the gate throwing haymakers, and you kind of have to do that when you're in a position that he's in, where it's like kind of people assume that your music career is pretty much done. So he came out just throwing haymakers, and I was like, they connected. I was impressed with that first song, like the intro. I actually liked it. The second song, I really, really liked it. And then Rick Ross came on, and I just wanted to throw my phone. Like, I didn't want to do this anymore. I was pretty much done at that point too. Overall, for the whole project, and yes, I will agree. I listened to it again. You were right, Singletary. That's probably the best Rick Ross verse I've ever heard. But again, that's not saying much. It was still pretty mind-numbingly painful for me to listen to.
A trend with Rick Ross, and Joe has been around when we've talked about it. His feature verses, never stay on task. Like, never on topic.
No, I don't know. I don't think he understood the title of the song or the theme, because he was talking about things that were just completely unrelated, and I didn't really need to know. But
my thing with Rick Ross is I think that he has a bunch of verses just saved, and when somebody wants a feature, he just sends them one, and they're mislabeled, so he doesn't know what he's sending.
Yeah, he's just like, you know what? This starts with a P. I'm gonna throw this there. It has nothing to do with problems, but he threw it there anyway. Overall, honestly, I think this is a good project. It shows, A, like you guys are saying, it shows that he's hungry. B, it shows he can still do it. Like, he can do it. He showed some variation on the project. He had some serious tones. He had songs where he was kind of back in his old lane. Honestly, I mean, after listening to this, yeah, I'd give an album from him a chance. I'd definitely listen to it. I just hope if he was to release a project, it'd be in line with this EP where it's a little bit of everything. I don't want it to be the old school Luda where he's always overly animated and talking about stuff I don't care about. I'm about to blow up balloons! Like, I don't need to hear that. Never. I really don't need to hear that from Ludacris. So I'm hoping it's something along the lines of, like, what I heard on this EP, especially that first track. Because he was rapping on there. And it seemed like he was talking about real situations. Like, I didn't know about whatever happened with his sister trying to sue him for a dog biting him or something. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. I didn't know about some woman trying to sue him for child support that he'd never even met. I don't know if these things are true, but it sounded like he was talking about real issues he was going through. And using music as an outlet. And I always respect an artist, even if it's something I can't relate to or like. I'll respect an artist using music as an outlet. I always respect that. And it was good hearing him do that, actually. And it showed a different side to him that I wasn't really familiar with. So, I mean, honestly, I think the purpose of an EP is to garner attention and show people you can do it. And I think he's accomplished both of those two fronts. So I'd say good job to him. Just keep Rick Ross off that album, and we're good.
He's got them labeled in his phone like tier 1, 2, and 3. And you gotta pay him a certain amount, and he just slides.
But you know what? But I mean, we joke about Ross's verses, but like his feature verses, like I prefer him as a feature artist now. Like he can't hold me with a 3-bar song or a 3-verse song. I mean,
he can't hold himself.
You see, I prefer him as a ghost artist where he's just not there, and I just don't have to think about him.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what's crazy is he lost all that weight, and that's when he started sucking.
Yeah, man, he's kicking it with pears and shit.
Yo, Pusha T better never cut his braids because that is where his rapping powers are, and that's where Rick Ross's rapping powers was his weight.
True, and J. Cole and Kendrick need to cut their hair soon before they end up in Lupe land.
First of all, you need to stop pretending like Lupe still got bars. Is he loopy?
He got a bar.
We all know he's a little loopy. He went through some stuff with his label with lasers, and that was that doesn't count. Okay, like that never happened. We acknowledge that.
All right, cool. Lasers don't count.
But I mean, I can say at least for that doesn't count for him. Whereas with Rick Ross, I'm like, no, like his entire discography is just anguish and suffering. I don't understand the upside to that Teflon Don or any. I'm like, no, It's just bad. So if this is him losing weight and rapping, like I'd rather him just keep the weight off and stop rapping. Go do what Fat Joe did and start selling people on pyramid schemes or something. I don't.
Dude, I watched that video. I was weak the entire time. I could not believe where Fat Joe was going at this point. It's mind-boggling, man. Like, he's so serious. And I'm like, I couldn't be one of the people at this event and see Fat Joe and think, I'm about to make some money. Like, no. No.
Yo, you know how many people were at that event just for the scheme, and how many people were at that event to try and push their mixtape to Fat Joe?
He got handed truckload of demos, like just he opened that car and like tapes just fell. Not even like CD, like legit cassette tapes, because Cat is hungry, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Rick Ross needs to go ahead and sign up for that same pyramid scheme and leave the music alone. So yeah, I don't like Rick Ross, as you can probably tell.
Hey, I mean, he dropped three terrible projects this year.
2. Ross did 2.
2.
Ross didn't even
one album, one mixtape.
No, Ross did 2 albums this year, and he didn't even go gold with both of them combined.
So J. Cole probably outsold him in his first week.
J. Cole outsold.
It's official that he did 360.
He did 361. I'm trying to think. Hood Billionaire didn't do 100, and then what was the first one? Mastermind did like 350, I think.
Okay. Total or what?
Total. Yeah, total, like first week or something like that. I can't remember. I know I saw a number for like 350 for Mastermind and like a 80 or 90 for Hood Billionaire.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we've got everybody's opinions, but I do want to ask this, since we just mentioned it. How does everyone feel about the fact that J. Cole just did 361,000 sales in his first week with the way that it came out?
I think it's good news.
Oh, Mike.
I was just going to say I think it's good news. That was it. I wasn't waiting for everybody else to go in depth on it. But I think it's good news. Especially when you consider the fact that album sales have been hurting for all artists of all genres, but especially for hip-hop. And it's rare that you see people... And like, it's rare that you see an artist that everyone champions actually be supported financially. Yeah. Like, a lot of artists that I like, everyone's like, oh, this dude is album of the year, yada, yada, yada. Then you look at the sales, and it's like, wait a minute. Like, did you guys all go to Mega Upload and download this? Like, no one bought the actual CD? What's going on here? Like, everyone's championing this is album of the year, and it's barely at 100,000 sales. Like, I don't understand.
Did you say YG?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, how did he do? Because people were talking mad shit about that project.
YG did 54,000 his first week.
Oh, God.
And people are saying that that's the album of the year.
I'm not a fan of him in any light, so I can't speak on that. But
that album sucked.
Yeah, thank you. I agree 100%. I will say that, to me, it's good news. Because you hear about artists like Beyonce and whatnot from other genres, they'll drop their albums unannounced with no marketing and sell millions. So it's like, you know, because women buy music. Like, that's what the music industry's figured out. So they kind of cater to them. And lots of dudes complain about it and then don't go buy albums. So they perpetuate the system, the status quo. So it's good to see J. Cole sell well. I will say this, though. I have a hypothesis that part of it's because he's light-skinned and Team Light Skin went out and supported him. Just throwing that out there. I am not a light-skinned individual myself. I'm very dark. I'm Nigerian. So to me, it's either or. I'm just saying, you know, I want to see a dark-skinned cat sell as well, because there's some dudes out there that can rap. But no, on a serious note, yeah, I think it's nothing but good news. And he deserves it, honestly, especially after I watched an interview with him discussing the state of hip-hop, the music industry as a whole, and the world right now. And he was saying a lot of things that you wouldn't expect an artist who's trying to make it to say, because they'd want to just kind of duck their head down and do what it takes to make money. And he's kind of just saying, you know what, enough of that, man. I'm just going to say what I actually feel. Like, even if I don't agree with everything that he's saying, I can genuinely feel, like, even on the album, I didn't agree with everything he said. I didn't agree with all the parts of the album, but it seems genuine, if you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you can't say it. Like, there's nothing about it that seems fake, and you have to respect that.
Well, I
want more artists to be encouraged to do that.
Well, I think a lot of that stems from, this is his last album with Columbia, so like, you know when you put in your 2 weeks at a job and you just don't care anymore? Like, he's just going out and saying whatever he wants. And I mean,
I didn't even thought about that. That's a good point.
and I mean that, you know, that's cool, and I'm glad that he's out there, you know, he's saying all this stuff and, you know, all that good stuff, and doing all these interviews. But like, that's been in the back of my mind since I found out that that's his last record on Columbia.
Gotcha. You think he's trying to go home or what?
I don't know. I think at this point he could go independent because he has the fan base. I mean, just look at what no marketing did for him in a month's notice. He did 361,000 first week, and it just proves that his fan base is that loyal.
That is true.
That's a good point.
That is very true. Richard Bailey, thoughts?
Yeah, I actually didn't know how much he sold until you mentioned it. Yeah, there wasn't really that much. Well, it seemed like it wasn't that much promotion done for this, so you know, I definitely think he deserved props. Hey, the album is great. I really don't have any real complaints about the album. I kind of knew the tone he was going for with this album when I first saw the first video that they dropped for it to advertise the album. So, I mean, I have no issue with it whatsoever. I know it was blowing up all over Twitter when it got announced and when it dropped. So, hey, congrats to him.
Word up. And on the last podcast, we had a person that managed artists. We had Dominique on here, and she gave an interesting perspective on the marketing side of things and how she felt about it. So right now, we'll actually be able to get B. Will's perspective as an artist and producer that's had to put his own music and stuff out there. But do you want to speak on it, B. Will?
I mean, most definitely, man. The project, I got put on the Cole before Sideline Story came out, but after a lot of his mixtape stuff was out. So I was going to a Cole concert. He was playing at the Tabernacle in Atlanta, so I was like, man, let me catch up. I went through the warm-up and Friday Night Lights and was just astounded that, wait a minute, in here, the era of image and promotion, he's just rapping his ass off. Like, people still rap their ass off. I didn't know this happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up and I was listening to M and Cannabis. Like, that was it. Like, oh, shit, they rapping their ass off. I was like, wait, somebody's still rapping their ass off after 2005? The fact that he was able to do that. Sideline Story, it really just sounded like this conglomerate of mixtape stuff, and I'm going to give you a couple singles in here. It was still him rapping, though. Like, he can still rap well, but what he's done with this one, I'm glad it sold so well with so little fanfare beforehand, because it proves that just rap your ass off and people will like it. Like, that's it. That's all you have to do. Just make good music. It's not the best produced. It's not the most spectacular production. It's not. I can't hear it and think, oh, yeah, radio's going to be blasting this right here. But what I do hear is it's relevant. I hear purpose in it. I hear passion in it. And that's a lot of what's going on right now just culturally in America, Black America. And that's also something else that really needs to be, I think, accounted for, is he's speaking to his experience as an individual growing up in Black America, and he's speaking to everybody that's in Black America right now. And it's relevant, and he's talented, and that worked. Can we take notes on that? So let's pass that out. Nobody's living like YG. Nobody's living a certain... nobody's doing that shit. Just rap about what's real, what's relevant, and it works. And I hope that makes that statement with these sales more than anything else that he's done. Again, I haven't made it all the way through the album. I've made it through the first 6, and I've heard the rest of them, like, sparingly as people quote it, or I might hear somebody playing it. But nobody else is just talking about, hey, here's what happened. Here's what's going to happen. I bet this happened. I told y'all this would happen. Like, thank you. Can you just talk to me? I'm regular. You regular. Let's talk. And I really appreciate that about the album. So I hope that this, I can't say it will start a movement, because you have to be able to rap well to get away with this.
True.
If you have no gimmicks, then you have to be able to rap extremely well or have extraordinary production. And very few people can do both and do what he's just done. So I'm happy about it. I hope at least people who can rap well do this instead of doing some old bullshit.
Very well said, man. I can agree with you on all those points for sure. I agree. I really do hope it sparks some kind of movement. I don't think it'll do too much damage to like people in their deals with record labels or anything because, like Joe, reminded us, it was his last deal. It was his last album deal with Columbia. So I'm sure there were some things he was afforded that he normally wouldn't be if he still had more albums in the works, like Lupe, because Lupe is about to drop, second to last? Or
No, I thought Tetsuo and Youth is his last on our
Okay,
way.
Yeah.
this one might be.
If I remember correctly, with Lasers was supposed to originally be his last album with them, and they
No. It was supposed to be LUP End after Lasers because it was going to be.
No, I thought because what happened apparently was like he made a mistake of renegotiating his deal to add an album after Lasers, and then when he showed them what he wanted that album to be, they were like, "Yeah, no, we don't want that." So then he was kind of that's why he was all like self-destruct and suicidal and stuff, because he had a vision for what he wanted the album to be, and because he renegotiated his deal, he couldn't get out of it anymore. They had all the leverage over him, like, no, you can't release that album like this. In addition, we still have you for an album after this, so you're not going anywhere.
Gotcha. Okay, I may have got the timeline jacked up on that.
So I mean, yeah, that's why I really resonate with what's his name said about this being his last album, Columbia, because it literally was a situation where he's like, dude, if you guys want me back, you will sign me, and I will be able to make whatever music I want. You don't really have control over me. That's a lot. That's very powerful for an artist, and it's something that a lot of artists need. Honestly, a dude like Lupe should not be constrained. A dude like J. Cole shouldn't be constrained. A lot of artists are.
This is essentially the artist taking back the power with stuff like this.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
And if the sales reflect anything, that's a positive thing.
But see, the problem is it can't be just this album, or it can't just be him, and that's doing this. We've got to start supporting other artists that do this stuff as well. It can't just be the Kendricks. Like, there's a reason like Big K.R.I.T is highly heralded, but like he's not getting the props he deserves. How is Big K.R.I.T not? How is he not at the American Music Awards? How is he not winning awards for his projects? Like, he's not even being nominated. Not because his work isn't critically acclaimed, it's because he doesn't get the sales, because people aren't speaking with their wallets.
And that's the other thing too, is like nobody promos it, because like before K.R.I.T dropped this year, I mean, he was dropping singles, but like I didn't hear him on the radio at all. I didn't see him performing like any of these late night shows or anywhere. Like, they just don't care about K.R.I.T at this point.
Yep.
And that bothers me because, in all honesty, out of all the big names right now rapping, I dare someone to name one of them that can out-rap K.R.I.T. I can't. And that includes Kendrick. I can't name any of these big name rappers, even the ones that people proclaim as rappers. The big name ones, I can't really name any of them that are out-rapping K.R.I.T. And that's just K.R.I.T. There's other artists that people are sleeping on too. I want to see them get shine. I'm not even trying to dictate how hip hop is. Like, there's a place for like the ignorant crap and the club crap and the stripper crap and all that. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't have its place, and it shouldn't sell. But the fact that that's all that is now, for the most part, like, no shots at. Yeah, I'll take shots at Young Thug. The man is probably dyslexic and won't know how to respond to me anyway. The fact that Lifestyle, there's kids walking around singing that, but they don't even know what they're saying, because I don't think Young Thug knows what he's saying. It's just gibberish.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
We've established
how
that.
is that? Yeah, how is that song? Yeah, and I remember that. Yes, when you were talking about the lyrics. How is that like? How is it that can get all the money that they were making off that? Right, that can get shine, but other artists can't get anything. Like, why? Why isn't there enough space for all of them to eat? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's food at the table. How about we let them all get food instead of just the Young Thugs in the world? And the reason I'm saying this is because, yeah, J. Cole did well. That's great. But it's not going to become a trend with just this album. It's not going to become a trend with just him. We need more artists who are just, as what's his name just said, rapping their asses off to be supported. Because until that happens, like, it's just going to be a glimmer in the dark, and then it's going to go back to being dark. And honestly, I'm tired of sitting in the fucking dark. I don't like reading in the dark is bad for your eyes. I need some light. So,
I've got two more points to jump into, but B. Will, you had some perspective on the K.R.I.T situation at album?
Yeah, I couldn't hear exactly what Mike was saying, regrettably. But with K.R.I.T, as I listened to the K.R.I.T, and that was before I listened to the Cole, I hear K.R.I.T, and what I hear is 1995 UGK Suave House, and it's K.R.I.T's almost like a time capsule, and that's not a bad thing because I think that we need to. It's a positive to be able to be in that era, in that sound, but the sound is a little monotonous, and I think that's gonna play K.R.I.T as far as his likability for the masses. Like if you didn't grow up in the South in the '90s, it's not too many people outside of that demographic that's gonna really mess with K.R.I.T too strong, and that's probably the biggest difference. Cole is a hip hop artist in the sense of if you like New York hip hop, if you grew up on that, you're gonna love him. If you just came up in 2000s, if you're a millennial kid, you're gonna love him. It's like he's more of a universal appeal type dude, especially with the production being melodic, you know what I'm saying, being gritty but being bass heavy, in a lot of different ways. But K.R.I.T is just I love K.R.I.T, and K.R.I.T kind of wears on me too because every album I've heard, it's like, yeah, this is a K.R.I.T album, and it's not a bad thing. It's a very specific thing, and I feel like that's.
Have you ever listened to Joey Badass?
No.
Do yourself a favor and don't.
Okay, because I was gonna say the Joey Badass kind of pigeonholed himself into a '90s sound and like got pissed because he couldn't get out of it. Do you feel like K.R.I.T is kind of like getting stuck in that southern sound and basically limiting his appeal? Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, I don't. The thing about K.R.I.T is I don't think he's in a hole per se because I think that's genuinely who he is. He is a poetic, a melodic, a old Negro spiritual for hip hop. Like that's really what he is. And because that is what he is at his core, I love that he does that unapologetically. That's one. We need more people to just do what they do and be who they are without reproach. We need that.
However, that's kind of what Mike was saying too, since you couldn't hear him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no doubt. And that's so I love that about K.R.I.T. I just hate that his artistry won't really be appreciated on a grand scale because it's just not what is happening right now. If you put K.R.I.T 20 years ago, then I mean we're talking about K.R.I.T with UGK as one of the originators, and
not even that. That's what I was getting ready to bring up. Like if K.R.I.T, I think K.R.I.T suffers from geography too because he's from the South, yes, but if he were from Houston or Dallas, those places where like you can, basically become a legend, like he would benefit so much if he was like from that area, whereas opposed to like just being labeled he's from the South.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Now another thing that Mike said. Now we heard it, but you didn't hear it. He said that you can't name artists that rhymes better than K.R.I.T right now. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to again reinforce the fact that I love K.R.I.T's the soulfulness of what K.R.I.T does. I don't think rhyming, wit, wordplay are his strong suit, and those are things I really enjoy. I think Cole is better at those. There's a few people better at that. I think. And this is something that, I mean, I got a lot of theories, especially being a producer, as far as how music is relayed and why people like certain music more. But the thing about K.R.I.T and the thing about music in general, really, and this is you can apply this to anybody, the quality of the production, the presentation. If I gave you a paragraph that was like the realest shit ever about the state of music, and you read it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. If I put that paragraph and I get Morgan Freeman to read it, put it over the dopest background music you ever heard, and a YouTube video with like some spectacular shit, it's going to impact you differently. It's the same words, it's the same content, but you feel differently about it because of how I presented it. K.R.I.T's rhymes are not spectacular, but if you give it to me in the landscape of the music that he creates, with the mood that he creates with the music, you're not going to separate those two in your head unless you're a very critical thinker, and I think everybody here right now reviews or listens critically to music, so we can do that. But for the general public, it's going to affect you however it did when you first heard it. And K.R.I.T gets the benefit of creating a super bass heavy, soulful, damn, you right, K.R.I.T. It's like he can create that effect, so his rhymes have to be taken into account when you are feeling those feelings. But
True.
just broken down, I think at best he is real, poetic, soulful, but nothing too much more than that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Now, I actually, for the year 2014, I actually have to back Mike on what he said, because Mount Olympus is probably the dopest verse that I've heard all year.
I agree 100%.
Like, just, and that wasn't no soulful tip. That was pure like aggression, and he was going at just like what Kendrick in the Control verse. But I think K.R.I.T was more aggressive than Kendrick was in that one.
K.R.I.T was fed up.
Yeah, he was definitely fed up. And so to hear him in that mode, which you really hadn't heard before, man, he destroyed that.
I just listened to that again today. Like,
it gets spins every day. I have like a list of stuff that listen to. Mount Olympus is on that bad boy, because I got an hour commute to work, and I literally have a playlist called The List in my Google Play account, and it's on there. Both versions of it are on there, even though I like the original one more. But
I gotta go back and listen to it now. Gotta listen to it again.
You got to. Mount Olympus, like, and we have a end of the year list, and everybody can throw in their stuff for their favorite verse and stuff like that. And I would go to other stuff, like Mick Jenkins on Martyrs was dope. That's one of the most potent ones out there for sure.
Oh, he started it with Shorty says she doesn't like dealing with the fake same bitch got weave.
Like that's probably my number 2. Like, it's hard to dethrone that one, but that K.R.I.T goes. Like, he destroyed it. Like, matter of fact, I remember when Twitter went nuts when it first dropped.
I was at work when that dropped.
I had just gotten off work, and I listened to it, and, like, my jaw dropped. It was nuts.
I remember I was on Xbox Live, and my friend was like, "You need to go listen to this right now." And I was like, "Why?" I was like, "Why?" And it wasn't like, like, he wasn't hype or animated. Like, he was talking to me like my father would. I'm like, "I'm going to need you to calm down, sir." He's like, "You need to go listen to this right now. This is the utmost necessity. You need to go listen to this right now." I'm like, "Man, all right, calm down." And, like, I was like, okay. And, I mean, it didn't shock me as much as other people, because I've heard him rap over... Like, that's the other thing I like about K.R.I.T. Like, even though he doesn't get enough credit for it, he can rap over diverse beats. Like, I've heard him rap over boom bap beats before, like the New York sound, and he can kill that too. It's just that he usually does it because it doesn't fit with him as well as like a melodic kind of soulful production, which is kind of I mean, it needs to happen. K.R.I.T and Madlib need to work on an album. That would work very well. Even though I know Madlib's a West Coast dude, but I mean, he makes soulful, jazzful kind of music. Him and K.R.I.T would be. I don't know if my ears can handle that. I might just die.
K.R.I.T with Madlib would be dope. Do you think that he has to work with other producers to take the next step?
I think he does. Honestly, yes. Not just the next step in terms of getting big now, because when I think of artists, I think big picture. I think of a legacy that's going to surpass your lifetime, because a lot of artists that even like not just in music and everything now, a lot of them that we herald as legends and look up to and inspire the world as we see it now, at their time they weren't really respected very well. They were poor. They died with nothing, and people ignored them. And it was long after their life that they were kind of heralded, which is sad when you think about it. But I mean, that's just the reality of how people are. So like for a dude like K.R.I.T, I think K.R.I.T could have more impact on music 100 years from now than most of these other artists now, just because you know me, I don't even really like most Southern artists. I really don't. So when people brought K.R.I.T to me, I was like, no, I'm not listening to this dude. He's from the South. I had to someone had to force me to listen to it, and I had to swallow I had to eat the crow and be like, this dude can rap, like flat out. And especially on that, oh my God, it's like, I don't understand. Everyone talks about that Control verse. I'm sorry. I respect Kendrick for that, but I kind of think he just gets passes. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the West Coast is looking for somebody. Maybe it's because he name drops, or I don't know. Maybe because he makes really accessible music. I think it's because he makes very accessible. He makes very accessible music. That's what I'll say about Kendrick. Like, it's impossible to listen to a Kendrick song and not know what he's talking about. It's still informative. It's still well done and I mean, it's a quality music, but it's highly accessible. I don't think K.R.I.T's music is as accessible as Kendrick's, and this is not a slight on either one of them. But his control verse, no, it's not even. No, I'm sorry, K.R.I.T takes that. K.R.I.T takes that. Yeah, K.R.I.T takes that. You gotta hold that. I don't know. And what I was saying, I'm not saying K.R.I.T's the best rapper, period. I'm just saying that when you look at the big name rappers now that people call rappers, like I would ask someone to name 5 rappers that would just destroy Big K.R.I.T. I don't think people could do that.
I can agree.
That was my original point with K.R.I.T. Like he can rap, like legitimately he can spit, and he doesn't get the attention he deserves. And it's not just him. I still think Logic doesn't get the attention he deserves. I still think King Los. No one's even talking about King Los. This dude might be the best lyricist out now that no one's heard of. Like
you told me about King Los multiple times, and all I need is a project to listen to him.
The dude is nasty. Sci-Hi, like I keep talking about Sci-Hi the Prince. People like that name, the way he spells it is stupid. I thought the same.
I back him.
I heard the first 3 tracks on that mixtape, and I was like, yeah, you need to go ahead and drop an LP, sir. You're nasty. Like he's really that Mandela song. Oh my, okay. I don't need to get hyped. I need to calm down. Actually, I'm trying to relax. But yeah, those are the artists I like. They deserve shine because like it's not even outside of just me liking their music. Objectively speaking, these are talented individuals. They have the core of what their music's supposed to be. Because if you are a rapper, your voice, it's not like you have a musical ability just in speaking. You're not singing. You're not, in most cases, making the beat. So what you're saying matters. And not just the message in it. Because you can rap about something silly as brushing your teeth. I don't care. If you have lyricism, I'm with it. I'd be nice if you had both, but I at least need lyricism. And it's still to my mind boggles my mind that now you don't need lyrics to be a rapper. You just need to be in the right circle of people and look cool, I guess. I don't even know if that's the case. I still don't know how Young Thug is a thing. However Young Thug made it, you just need to be like Young Thug and you can make it. I don't understand that.
No, I explain the Young Thug thing. It's because he sounds like what we sound like when we try to sing songs and we can't sing. So we can relate. That's why Young Thug.
Sing along.
Yeah, you can sing along to it. That's why Young Thug is popular, man.
Like what?
You know what's crazy though is like Young LA would thrive in this culture of Atlanta sound right now. Goddamn shame.
And that's the other thing. It's like the stage is prepared. There are these young, hungry, and talented artists from different regions. There's dudes from New York, there's dudes from the South, there's dudes in the Midwest, there's dudes on the West Coast that people acknowledge are talented and can spit. Some of them even have a little notoriety behind them. So why aren't they getting the recognition they deserve? Kendrick sells well. Okay, J. Cole sells well. That's about it. Why?
Did Big K.R.I.T. I thought Catalactica did decent, though.
I think it did 6 figures, I think.
Yeah, decent, but I mean, okay, outside of that, like, how much did, I'm trying to think of another artist that, well, you guys don't like Joey Badass, never mind. How much...
No. I didn't say I don't like him. I said he pigeonholed himself in the 90s thing, and it pissed me off that he was trying to get out of it.
I said that I don't like him.
Yeah, Joe doesn't like him.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you don't like him. The dude can rap, but...
Because he sounds like every fucking 90s song ever.
and like, he actually dropped a song recently that could have been in an argument for one of the best verses. I can't remember the song's name, but it has a video too, but it's dope. But who else were you going to mention?
I'm just saying, like, artists in general, like, who just dropped a project that just kind of flew under the radar? Like, you know how I was talking about Pinata? I don't think Pinata sold very well. Why didn't that album sell very well?
That was an indie album, too.
Whose album?
The Pinata?
I mean, it didn't even get marketed well.
And to me, that's a problem. Like, that's why, like, a lot of these indie artists, like, people are begging them to release their new project. Like, I'll be honest, I'm sitting here waiting for that Ghostface Doom album. I'm waiting for that Mad Villain 2 album. Even though I think Mad Villain 1 did sell very well, so I don't know why they won't release the sequel. But, I mean, I think, and a part of it is that these artists understand, like, what's the rush? Like, you people aren't going to buy this album, you're just going to download it.
Or you could just be like Run the Jewels and know the shit's going to get leaked and leak it yourself.
That is true. Run the Jewels. Oh man, I can't wait for that. Did they drop the second one yet, or they just announced the work?
Oh wait, you haven't heard it? Oh snap! Bro, you haven't heard
the sequel dropped? I have not heard the sequel. No.
Run the Jewels 2. It dropped like right before Thanksgiving.
What?
Oh my goodness, you.
So you could tell me about this Ludacris EP, but you can't tell me about that.
We talked about it on the podcast. You ain't been listening.
Man, okay.
You mentioned it on the last 3 podcasts.
Yo, I even said that on the last one. I said LP had the best line of the year with "Fuck the law, they can eat my dick." That's word to pimp.
Yeah, like we've been talking about that Run the Jewels, dude.
Right,
it's going to be in the conversation for end of the year.
I know what I'm listening to tonight while I'm playing Street Fighter. Thank you for the update. That's what I'll be bumping tonight.
Yeah, you got to listen to that. Matter of fact,
you need to just write a list, and I will go.
You know what? Somebody else told me to do that today, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to actually
do that. Write a list for me of projects that you think I may have missed, and I will go listen to them. I'm always in the hunt for good music, so indie or mainstream. I mean, I don't care. Like I know people you know that make music, so I don't care how big or small they are. If they make good music, let me know. I'll go listen to them.
Word.
I'm that dude that was on when I was in college. Cause I just graduated not too long ago. When I was in college, I was at the bus stop. People would hand me their mixtapes. I wouldn't throw them mugs. I actually go listen to them.
Hey, you need to do what me and Joe did when we went to South by Southwest. We were out there. We collected every demo, every tape, everything that everybody was giving out, right? Except for this one dude that decided he was going to charge when we're in a sea of people giving it out for free. I don't know what he was thinking.
That wasn't going to work for him. He was hungry.
Yeah, he got that handed right back. He was talking about some $5. I was like, no, you good, bro. But what we did, we played it because it was a 15-hour drive, Joe?
Yeah.
Somewhere around 15-hour drive, and we played them. And if they were garbage, we flew them bad boys right out the window. But
damn. Okay. Well, that's pollution. That's pollution. All right. Let's not be criminals. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, but that's how it went. We listened to them, and there was some dope stuff in there. It's actually a couple people that I still listen to.
That was the first year because
I thought that was the second.
No, because remember my CD player doesn't work in my car, so we were having to do the FM transmitter and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that was.
That was the first year because I remember because Rich Homie Quan's people were out there. They were throwing out the "I will never stop going" in.
I threw that CD right back at him. Oh my God. Oh, I can't stand that dude. I cannot stand Rich Homie. I forgot who put me on. What song was it they put me on? Where it was some music video where it's him in this yellow car and he gets out and there's this woman, this beautiful woman, like just not hot, like legitimately beautiful, racially ambiguous, but clearly at least part Asian woman that gets out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he starts rapping, and I have no idea what he's talking about. It's just really bad. I don't know the name of the song, and it might have been that My Nigga song or whatever. Oh my God, I can't stand that dude. It's so bad.
Rich Homie
no,
rapping.
Some type of way. Thank you. That I feel you feel in some type of way song like that. No. Nope.
I never mess with him. And now they're calling him. What are they calling him now?
Rich Hubby.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's his name now.
Hey, Young Thug called you Rich Hubby. Your name's Rich Hubby.
Rich Hubby.
Rich Hubby.
Wait, a man called him this?
Yes, Young Thug.
Young Thug called him Hubby in an Instagram post like a few months back, and so I've been.
Sure that wasn't like a typo. Like, he didn't mean to call him Tubby or something.
No. You look at Rich Homie. He weighs less than me, and I weigh like 170.
I mean, it might have been like an inside joke. You know how like we call, everyone has that friend you call Tiny, but Tiny is never tiny. He's always big. You know.
I don't know if
I don't think so.
I'm confused that a man calling another man hubby. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it does to me because we all think Young Thug's gay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We just, if he comes out, he comes out.
Everybody's just waiting for him to come out.
Yeah, like if and when he does come out, like we're just gonna be like, okay, like we knew this.
I honestly didn't know all of it, but that makes a lot more sense why he was saying things about going to strip clubs and pushing girls away from him. I'm like, what? I think you're doing that back.
He wasn't just saying that. I think there was a video clip of that happening.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I think there was an Instagram video of that. I've seen that.
All right, so he's doing things. Okay, then yeah, well, I just didn't know. I didn't know any of this stuff, and now it makes a lot more sense. Not that there's anything wrong with that lifestyle, but I guess that's what he was talking about in lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, because it was
a lot of strange things to live this here lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a stripper backing it up on him, and he beast mode Lynch dodged that. It was on there. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But it was a legit thing that actually happened.
Well, I mean, I'm not judging his lifestyle outside of that. I'm judging him on his music, and his music is horrible. So, yeah, if he is going to be the first outwardly gay rapper, if I was gay, I'd be really insulted because he's not representing that community at all.
It's a valid
That's
point.
really bad.
It's a valid point. All right. Well, I'm going to end this with one more question. It was something I thought of earlier, and it may seem a little out of place, but I'm going to get back to it. Will Tetsuo and Youth, do y'all believe? Simple as that. Do y'all believe? Do you think it's going to be good? With the songs that have been put out so far, are we getting that Lupe back?
Yes.
All right. Mike says yes. Joe?
I don't know. Like, jury's still out for me because, like, I'm still tainted from Lasers and Food and Liquor 2 and the whack songs with Ty Dolla $ign from this year.
Okay, see, you're making a mistake.
Lasers
never happened.
Hold on. Go ahead, Will. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Hold on, me or Mike? I can't hear you.
You.
Oh, okay. I'm with Joe. You listen, man. Lupe was he was Bruce Leroy, man. I mean, honestly, so much potential, and he lost the glow. The industry took the glow from him. I was sad, but regardless of how good first 4 years Lupe was, listen, man, you can't give me Lasers and Food and Liquor. I bought these blindly. Like, it was like, oh, it dropped, I'm buying it. Oh, okay, Food and Liquor drop, it can't be a second bad one. I'm buying it. like, what do you do to me? Like, I bought albums. I didn't even think about it because of Lupe's potential and Lupe's ability. And I was let down. This time, I've heard the cuts. Listen, man, it sounds like he got cool. Cool, you can define cool however you want. He got approachable. And the content may have suffered because of it. You know what? That's fine. If it takes him being entertaining to him getting back to being relevant, then I'm with it. If this is like the back row we have to get for him to get back to being impressively good, then okay. I'm going to listen to it first. I'm not buying shit. I got to hear it first. He's not going to do that to me again. So.
The days of the blind Lupe purchases are done.
Here's my thing about Lupe. And I think it can go for a lot of artists that we talk about too. I don't think music artists' prime is that long anymore. I think there's like a certain amount of like a time frame that they make good music, and like it's elite, and then after that it just kind of all falls off.
Black Thought would like to have a discussion with
you. I think it's a good point.
Oh, Black Thought, he's like.
See?
When you make that discussion, like, Black Thought is the one immune artist.
Black Thought is like 69 years old, and that dude still will out-rap anybody on the planet.
Nas, his track record isn't perfect, but he's still relevant, and he still makes good music, especially, like, his last album is a testament to that. But Black Thought is like the whack verse watch. He's never dropped a bad one.
Right.
Like, for sure. But Lupe, I'm right there with you. Well, like I bought Lasers twice. I think this is the first time I've admitted that on air.
Why would you buy Lasers twice?
I thought it was gonna be better the second time you bought it.
You know what keep talking about? Like, I bought Lasers. I pre-ordered Lasers because I couldn't wait for my physical copy to get in. Because I had already paid for the physical copy to get shipped to me, and then when everybody was talking about it at midnight, I was like, bump it. So I went and bought it on freaking iTunes so I can have it then. So yeah, I bought that twice. I'm sorry.
I don't know what album you guys
No, we're sorry. We're sorry, Charles. You don't apologize.
You guys talking about vaporware from up because I've never heard of this album. I've never heard of this album you guys speak of. Food and Liquor, okay, that was a leak album. This Lasers album, was that an EP? I never heard of it.
And then Food and Liquor, Joe's heard me say this many times. I listen to it every couple months because I still feel like it's gonna be better each time I listen to it. I'm not even playing. I seriously listen to it every couple months because I have that CD, that black disc with nothing on it, all the time. Every few months.
Do you ever look at it and be like, "Hey, what's on this disc?" and forget, and then you pop it in and you're like, "Oh shit."
No, people probably do that with the Kanye joint.
Damn.
Oh, we ain't talking about Jesus. No,
you know what happens? Somebody, whoever out there, that one dude that still burns CDs, probably think he got a blank disc and he throws it in to try to put something together, and then it's Yeezus and he gets pissed off.
Yep.
Yo, that would be me if my CD player was in my car.
It's like, what the fuck?
And it's funny because Mike's audio sounds just like the Yeezus album right now.
That's
It really does. But, Rich, did you have any input?
Yes, I do have input. My input is no, I do not believe that Lupe album will be any good for the same reason that these guys already said. Until he get off that label he's on now, that's it. I have no faith whatsoever. And my condolences, Charles, for having bought that label album.
Hey, look, everybody makes mistakes.
oh man, that's a bad one.
You made the same one twice.
You bought Vaporware twice. I don't know how you did that. You got bamboozled.
At least I didn't consciously listen to it and then go buy it again. Like it was blind. I bought my order. It got shipped out, and I was like, let me get this iTunes too.
Yo, he listened to it. He listened to the iTunes. Is like, man, maybe this one they shipped me is gonna be better.
He can still. It might be the label because he can still make good music like that rock group he founded, the Japanese rock group he founded. If you're into that kind of music, the songs on there were really good. So I'm figuring if he can make good music, why is it not transferring over to his like home genre of music? It must be the damn label. I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing. It could be the label, or it could just be that he's not into hip hop anymore. Because if he's doing another genre of music, I mean, that might have his heart right now.
Possibly. I don't know. I can't see this album being. I know you guys are saying, well, that's what you said about Food and Liquor too, and you'd be right. But I don't see that it can't be bad because he can rap. He's still one of the best right now. Like, he can legitimately rap.
I'm curious to see who they pair him up with though, because like we've heard like 5 songs with him and Ty Dolla $ign, so like there's got to be a B.O.B. feature on there somewhere.
I hope not. I really hope not. I really hope he needs to distance himself from B.O.B. as far as possible after recent events.
Actually, you know what? I was about to say no. I actually think that B.O.B. was one of the names that was on the list because he dropped
they were supposed to be in the All City Chess Club too.
Yeah, and man, don't remind me about that sadness. I was so excited. I was excited for that and the Pharrell and Kanye and Lupe joint.
CRS.
Why did that never happen? By the way, I still don't understand that.
Egos, man.
Yep.
Bunch of egos.
You know how amazing that album would have been? You would have had an album that would have literally been able to cater to all different types of fans of a genre of film music, and you just don't put it out.
Oh. That's I don't understand because it was been just like print money.
I wonder if it's by egos you mean Kanye's ego.
Yes,
oh, definitely.
Because his will make up. His will take up enough room for all 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was okay. That's probably what happened.
Okay, and actually, I'm looking at the thing, like the features. Rick Ross and Big Crit are on the same song.
Okay, well that cancels out. I mean, you got Light and Darkness that cancels out, so we can do that.
I think he tried to get Joey Badass on the track. I'm not sure. And there were a couple others. Of course, the other dude.
Dollar $ign.
Dollar $ign, yeah. And and some dope. I know, Mike. You know about Atmosphere, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so he tweeted out this list of features, right? And he had 3 that were not checkmarked, and the first one was Atmosphere. And I was like, say what? And Atmosphere responded. Their Twitter responded and was like, yeah, we're down for this. So
yeah, that needs to happen. That needs to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be on this album, but dude, I'm gonna flip out.
That needs to happen.
Amazing. But yeah, it's been a great conversation. I'm glad that I got all of you on here. Let's get last words from everybody. Plug whatever you like, say whatever you want, except for free Gucci. You can keep that to yourself.
Gucci! Burr!
We'll start off with
I'm
you.
gonna need you to go ahead and edit me off this podcast with him doing that. I don't want to be associated with that in any light. How dare you, sir?
Man, I get so much shit for listening to Gucci Man.
Because he's so bad, dude. Like, he's terrible.
No.
Now it all makes sense why you think how you think about a lot of these other great musicians. Cause you listen to Gucci, man. So I mean, yeah, your ears are just like in reverse or something. I don't know what it is.
No, I know good music. I just enjoy Gucci Man.
I know. That's not possible.
It's a palate cleanser from all the dope stuff he listens to.
You can't like someone on some bitch I might be. You can't be a fan of that if you like his music. Like no. Nah.
All right, Big Will, what's your last word, bro?
Last word, man. This was fun, man. I enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the conversations when I actually have something to contribute about the main topic. This is dope. I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you joined, man. You had plenty to contribute to the other topics, so we'll definitely get you on the show in the future for sure. Jehovah, last word. Don't get kicked off the show, dog. Don't do it.
You guys have been saying you're gonna kick me off for like the last 7 episodes, and I come back
all
every
we gotta do
damn
is find a
time.
replacement. All we gotta do is find a replacement. You know?
No. What I was gonna say. My final words. Still, you can go vote for some of the cool Twitter artists you may know and you may support. Jehovah'sMF.com. Voting goes through December 28th at 5 p.m. And also check out Dot's new song. It's called Ace. You can find it. It's on the Koalition.com. It's on. We premiered it on YouHeardThatNew.com earlier today as well. And he's got a project dropping in January, so I hope you guys enjoy it.
Word up. Yeah, that Ace joint is dope. Y'all definitely gotta check it out. He already mentioned that it's on Koalition, but y'all definitely gotta check it. Rich, skipping Mike. Rich.
Ooh, skipping Mike. Wow.
I'm used to it, man.
Yeah. Hey, I would just like to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this conversation. It was great to talk with all of you about this subject, even though I am not as heavily into hip hop as you guys. But I'm making improvements, so I look forward to having more of these conversations on Nights of the Turntable. And for those that are listening to this that are gamers, definitely check out the Co-op podcast, because we got a major podcast dropping this upcoming weekend about our game of the year. Yes.
Word up. Michael A., what's your last word?
Honestly, I don't remember if the Coalition, if we did an article on Jailwind's latest project. I don't remember seeing one on there.
Oh, who?
On Jailwind? I don't know if you know who that is.
No, not for me.
Rich. Oh, well, yeah.
Jailwind.
Yeah, Jailwind. So, I mean, if not, I'll probably see if I can get one up. Anyway, I would say go check it out, man. Love to. It was a really good album or project. I don't know if it's officially an album. But it's really good. He's got a sound, not a sound, a Bandcamp, I think it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got Bandcamp. So I'll get you guys a link to his Bandcamp if you want to link it or whatever. I'd say go check that out. Got a lot of he's been putting out music for a while, and it's all quality. I like it, and as you guys can probably figure out, I'm pretty tough on what I like musically. So I would say go check that out. Yeah, that's about it, honestly. There's some other cats I listen to, like YouTube producers and stuff, but their projects aren't out yet, so I can't really plug them yet. But, I mean, yeah, if you want to find out, just contact me. I'm always willing to discuss music, games, anime, whatever. I'm always trying to find new stuff to listen to or watch or whatever, so if you know some, go ahead and make that list and send it my way. I'll give it a chance unless it's just Gucci Man or something. That's not happening. Thank you. And, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me on here, man. I had fun, actually.
Word. I'm glad you joined. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been Nights of the Turntable, the first impression for Burning Bridges. Be sure to check the Nights of the Turntable that we dropped, number 13, that came out today. It is on the Koalition.com. We got a lot of hip-hop posts on there. We got GI12, GI Megas, a guy from Alabama. Matter of fact, B. Will, am I pronouncing that right? Because I've never heard him actually say it, so I don't even know how to pronounce it.
GI or GI Magus.
Magus? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Definitely go check that out. It is dope. He's on day 4, and then midnight day 5 will be out. Definitely peep that. It's some dope stuff. It's very uplifting, which is very refreshing in within a lot of the hip hop that's been coming out lately. But thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.